In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this 8-point star out of 8 separate pieces. You're going to need 8 squares, like this, and we'll fold them all the same way. Start by folding it in half to make a triangle. Give that a good crease, and then unfold it. And now we're going to take this edge here and fold it into the middle, kind of like you're making an airplane. And we'll do the same thing with the other edge. Fold that in towards the middle. And now we're going to take this bottom point here and fold that up towards the middle. Pull that in as much as you can, and then give it a good crease along the bottom edge so it makes this triangle shape here. Now unfold that completely. Now we're going to flip this over and fold the top and bottom points towards each other to make a triangle. And we're only going to crease this in the middle between the two side creases. If you see closely, I'm just pinching it down right here in the middle instead of entirely across the whole bottom base. After making that crease, we'll unfold it. We'll take the very bottom point and fold it in, and then the two sides back in towards the middle. Now let's flip this over, and where we just made our new crease, we'll fold up. Now let's take the bottom right hand corner and fold up to this edge here. We're going to use that as a guideline, so give that a good crease and then unfold, and we'll take this edge and fold to that middle line we just created. Now give that a good crease because we need it to be held in place, and that's one piece. We'll need to make 7 more. Okay, now that we've got our 8 pieces, I'll show you how to attach them. We're going to call this side facing the camera the front, and this side here the back. In order to attach these pieces, we're going to need to use this flap right here, and slide it into the opening on the middle of the piece we're attaching it to. Next, we're going to have to take this tab right here and slide it into the other half of the piece we're attaching it to. And that's the basic mechanic. It gets a little trickier towards the last 2 pieces. So I'll continue adding pieces in real time, or if you think you've got it figured out, skip to the end and see me add the last 2 pieces. By the time you add piece number 6, it's going to be easier to set this on the table. We also need to make sure that the pieces we add lay behind the very first piece. And let's make sure this flap goes behind the very first piece. like that. And now the last piece. It's going to be tricky. Fitting piece number 8 into piece number 7 isn't that bad, but fitting the first piece into the last piece, that's the tricky part. Start by placing this tab behind the first piece. And then we'll lift up piece number 1 and try to open up this tab like we did on the others. One of the reasons this is tricky is because it's probably going to be pushed down by the other pieces of paper. It's also a little tricky because once you lift that tab up, it's difficult to slide it into the opening on the 8th piece. That's because all the pieces are now attached, and it's less maneuverable than it was before. It's going to take a little dexterity, a lot of patience, and if you like, you can use something flat and pointy, like a butter knife, or maybe some tweezers to help you slide this in. But if you look here, I can get it in with just my fingers. You'll notice I still need to slide the front tab on the yellow piece into the left-hand side opening of the red piece. But before I do that, I'm going to flip this over and just readjust this piece right here. Now I'll flip this back over and take care of this last tab. And of course, as I was doing that, the back tab slid out, so I'll have to redo it. Like I said, lots and lots of patience. Let's speed this up just a little bit. And finally, there. Now we're done.